All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's Breakout Watchlist from May 17th to May 21st. In this video, I'll be covering 12 stocks that I think have breakout potential in the upcoming week. All 12 stocks I'll be setting alerts for and taking a look at for possible buys. Each of these stocks are going to be above their 200-day simple moving average, which itself isn't an uptrend. They're going to be 100% above their 52-week lows, and they've gone through some consolidation where they may have broken out, pulled back, tightened up, and look to be ready to break out again. Uh, Also, with this video, every week I post 4 stocks on a poll on Twitter, so you guys can vote on your favorite setup after the video. That helps me out because I'm running a TikTok trading challenge where all the money that I make on TikTok throw into a trading account, and however you guys vote week to week is how I allocate the money. So make sure you vote on your favorite setup on my Twitter account. That's StockTrickNick. And while you're there, follow me on Twitter, StockTwits, TikTok, and subscribe to the channel, Stock Tricks with Nick. There's also going to be timestamps for each of the stocks that we talk about. So if you're coming here for a specific stock, you can just click the link in the comment section below, and it'll go straight to that stock, and we'll break down the setup and buy point that I'm looking at. Also wanted to mention tomorrow is tax day. Taxes are due. That got pushed back from April 15th to May 17th. So make sure you have your taxes filed. And also, that means that's the end date of the 2020 IRA contribution deadline. So if you have any more money that you can put towards an IRA, tomorrow is going to be the deadline for the 2020 accounting year. They'll still have up until probably April. They're going to push that back of 2021 to get the 2021 contributions. But again, those 2020 accounting year contributions deadline is tomorrow, so make sure you max that out if you can. All right. Quick disclaimer: anything that I talk about today is not stock advice, not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. This is what I'm going through, looking at the stocks, and just what I might be trading in the upcoming week. Please do your own due diligence. Trading comes with financial risk. Yeah, definitely do your own homework here. But here are the 12 stocks that we got going. The stars here will be each of the stocks that you guys can vote on the Twitter poll afterwards. I'm not going to go through it here because I got my list. We'll be going over each of the charts, setups, and buy points in a second. But wanted to kind of do something different and take a step back and look at where each of these stocks go into the sectors. And I wanted to point out the SCTR, the scooter rating. So sector-wise, we've got a lot of financials, a lot of banks in here. This KRE is going to be a ETF in banking, so that's another bank stock. Got airlines, paper, so not a lot of tech on here, obviously. We're always looking for the strongest stocks that are getting stronger, and tech is still getting destroyed. Got a good bounce on Thursday and Friday, but I don't want to be the first one in, get suckered into a mini rally before they flush it further. I'll let those setups get back over their 50-day moving average. That's something that I always look at. So here's the sectors that have been getting the money, looking, and where we'll look today. And then I wanted to point out the SCTR. As I said in the first slide, I'm always looking for the strongest stocks getting stronger. So we're always looking for scooter ratings up 90% or above. There's a couple here, CADE 80.1. What's the other one? Zion 88.5. Had to lower that kind of threshold a little bit just because the growth stocks have been getting hit so hard lately. Got to find some stocks to talk about today, but this is where we're looking. And this is just an example of the voting setup. So again, go to Twitter after you watch the video. And if you enjoy the video, please leave a like. It helps out my channel tremendously. And we'll get into the stocks. All right, first one, we got American Airlines. So you probably just heard me say I don't trade stocks under the 50-day moving average. So you'd be surprised to see that right now it is under the 50-day moving average. This red line here, got the 200-day in the yellow line, 20-day in the green line. So got a couple different durations of moving averages coming. But with this one, we saw obviously with the illness, everything pulled down. But with vaccines rolling out, numbers coming down, airlines kind of opening up a little bit more. So we had that strong pop through February, a nice pullback. I think this is 24%, 25%. Let's measure it really quick. yeah, 24% from the local high to the low here. Reverse there, and then a couple times here, 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times now. We've hit that 50-day moving average and kind of pulled back a little bit. So what I'm looking at is buying with a break over the 50-day moving average. So let's see, 2254, 2248. I'd go with the 2254, the high from May 10th right here. And also notice that when we clear that range, that high point, we're also clearing the last little bit of resistance in the volume shelf here. So this just captures how much volume has been traded within those price ranges. And we want to see kind of clear skies ahead when we're taking off. No airline pun intended. But if we can get over there, less resistance up top because there's less traders trapped up here at these prices than kind of in this range that we've been trading at right now. So that's American Airlines. Again, taking a look at a break over May 10th high of 2254. Next, we have AVID. So this one's going to be a little bit thinner of a traded name, so you have to adjust your position size accordingly. With the account that I'm trading, not too large yet, so don't have to do too much difference, but you might see some illiquidity problems if you're trying to sell a very, very large amount at a certain time. So just be conscious of how many shares get traded each day, because you don't want to get trapped in something that's illiquid. But you do have this nice kind of base through here from February up until May. Uh, Popped on earnings. I never trade into earnings because it's kind of a roll of the dice or flip of the coin, and I want a little bit better odds and want to avoid gap down risk. I'm a very risk adverse trader, even though I'm trading kind of the breakout names. So this got going, missed this move because again, don't trade into earnings. Pulled back to the 8-day exponential moving average. That's this purple line. And then on Thursday, we had this nice flush down, maybe because it trades kind of a little bit more thin volume wise, but uh, from the lows of Wednesday, we pulled down 5.4%, shot it back up, closed right at that 8-day exponential moving average. So buyer stepped in there. And then on Friday, we had higher highs, higher lows. Lows touched right at that 8-day again. So now we're finding support in that area. And what I would be looking for is if we open lower and if we open lower on Monday, taking out Friday's high of 27.46 could be a possible buy point, or May 11th high of 27.98, call it $28. That would be my possible buy point. So here's an example. I missed the initial breakout on earnings, but we were patient. We're not chasing a stock even higher. We're waiting for it to pull back, consolidate, maybe have one day where we really shake out a lot of the short-term traders, and then it sets up again. So this is one that I'll be looking at next week. Next, we have CADE. This is another bank. You can see kind of zooming out, got a nice uptrend through here. And then once we hit kind of March, we started basing out here. So let's see how many trading days this was. 45 trading days, call it 9 weeks. That's a nice base through here. Let's see. Yeah, so we did have a pullback. This was on my watch list last week. We had that pullback earlier on in the week. We turned around Thursday and Friday, and that's when we're looking for relative strength. So all the stocks pulled back Monday, Tuesday, I think Wednesday as well. And then they all popped on Thursday and Friday. But which stocks pulled down the least and which stocks extended the most on when they did get extended? That's the relative strength that we're looking with the scooter rating or any kind of price comparison. I have mine to QQQ right here, so you can see that we're getting good price relativity, showing good general strength here. So with this one, I would just be looking for a break over May 10th high of 23.35 as a possible buy point. You got a couple daily highs right around that price, right through there. So ideally, we get Monday and Tuesday where we kind of trade sideways down, allow the 8-day exponential moving average to catch up, and then we push through that with a little bit more pressure. That's CADE. Next, we have CYH. This is another one that we missed the initial breakout. This was on earnings, traded sideways for a couple days and then got going. Yeah, this one I just didn't have on my radar. I think, yeah, that was the week I was taking my exam, so I wasn't looking at anything here in the stock market. But since we had that breakout, let's measure that kind of just from the middle here. So we had a 47% move up, pullback here now of only 11%. So really kind of controlled pullback to the 8-day exponential moving average. Notice the volume on this pullback is exactly what you'd like to see too. You want big volume coming out, everyone's buying the stock, buying it, bidding it up, and then when it's time to kind of get exhausted from the buyers, not many sellers are showing up. So you see good volume coming out, little volume when it comes back in or trades sideways, exactly what you want to see. Right now, ATR is picking up, average true range. That's just the measure of the daily bars. And as a low risk trader, I want to trade really strong, powerful stocks, but I want to do so when price is consolidating, volume is consolidating, and I can get a stop loss of 3 to 5% on a trade. When ATR is really extended, you're more likely to get stopped out just with normal volatility of the day. So ideally, this comes down a little bit. These bars tighten up, and we get a move in the second half of the week or maybe even the following week. But I did want to highlight this because we did have that nice pop, volume showing what we wanted, and we do have the undercut of the lows in the pullback on Friday, and then got bid up back above the 8-day exponential moving average. So with this one, again, ideally we see it in the second half of the week or next week, but just through some of these daily highs, 1487, 89, all through here would be a possible buy point, break above that. I'm always buying with a break above where people are already stepping in, the stock's proving itself. I'm not just randomly buying into a pullback because I have no idea how long that's pulling back for. And I'm a breakout trader, swing trader, not long-term investor looking for a stock that's been beaten down. I'm always looking for the strongest stocks getting stronger. Next, we have EWBC, another bank. You can see nice upward trend up until March. Then we start basing out, very similar. Um, and this one, not as strong as, what was the other one? CADE. So we're talking relative strength here. CADE was right back above May 10th high. This one, I mean, not much down, 2%, but if we're focusing on relative strength, that's what we're looking for. So CADE over EWBC, but you never know what's going to come out, one bank versus the other, one company versus the other. So still a strong setup that I wanted to highlight here, but we would be looking for a break over May 10th high of 80.47 as a possible buy point. Next, we have FOXF. This one, really nice move. Even like since April of last year, let's see what we got going. 330%, but in a strong move through here. Again, a lot of stocks have been beaten down. Growth stocks have been demolished lately. This is holding great relative strength. Starting to flag out here. Ideally, we get a couple more candles moving sideways. Price tightens up. You see ATR is kind of flat here. A couple more days, and then that starts dipping. You get your price contraction, which you like to see when you can put a tighter stop loss and keep your risk to a minimum. But this one, I would be a little bit more aggressive with an entry here. Just buying with a break over Friday's high, 159.03. Because what I'm seeing here, lots of volume coming out. We do have this one red volume day where I'm not sure exactly where the volume was on that day. Was it above when it was moving, making higher highs, or when it was pulling back? Either way, notice all these kind of peak volume days are all on green days, which shows heavy buying, even when it does pull down. Did so on lighter volume. A couple of the pops were on higher volume green days. That's something that's kind of tipping the cap to the big players. They're getting in, not getting out on this kind of pullback and flag out. So again, Friday's high, 159.03 is going to be my possible buy point. FOXF. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I make these breakout videos every Sunday. Typically do a live stream during the week. This week's going to be really hectic. Not going to be able to get to that. And then I am doing a Trading 101 series. So if everything that I'm talking about seems way too complex for you guys, I will be teaching 3 of my friends who have never traded before how to trade, very basic, setting up your trading account, what we're looking for, all these terminology. So if you're not a experienced trader right now, that's a great series to check out. First video is already out. Second video will be coming up next weekend. So check that out. So this one we have GNK. Obviously, you can see really strong trend. We got 250, 28, all in the right order. So everything's going up with this. This one could be a little bit early. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days off the highs. And let's see, 13%. So not bad during this pullback. We pull back to the 20-day moving average. Volume's lightening up during the pullback. You want to see the lightest volume on kind of the end of the pullback, because just as we're seeing kind of we extend, and the buying kind of dries out, we want to see the selling side when we do pull back kind of get exhausted. And once all the sellers are gone, then the next person with a big bid, large size position, that's going to shoot the price back up. So we want volume at a minimum when we get down to the bottom of the pullback. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. So volume's coming in, ATR is just starting to make the turn to tighten up in between the 8 and the 20. So this, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious because we do have not much support as it extended through here. So if this does take a turn, I mean, I'm not going to be taking an 18% loss or anything down to the volume shelf. My stop losses are always 5 to 7%, but um, there is a higher chance because it's just shot up where it rolls over here, especially in this market. So if we get a couple more trading days sideways, I'll be looking at the high of May 12th, 1587 as a possible buy point right through here. And that would come either as the stock just bounces off the 20-day and turns up here, or if we trade down a little bit more, kind of base out for another week and then pop. So that's GNK. KRE, this is that regional bank ETF. So if you don't want to be in one single bank, but a lot of their setups are exactly the same. You see that cup, little handle during this week, and now we're popping back to the high. This is a fine ETF for I guess if you want to get into banking, and that looks like the hot hand right now. That's what I would be looking at. 71.82, the high from May 10th. That's your possible buy point. It's my possible buy point. Next we have RAIL, and wanted to be cautious about this one. So this has earnings before the market opens tomorrow, and when that happens, I don't trade into earnings, but I'll trade after the fact if we can get a quality buy point. So this is one where earnings could be terrible and we open up down 20% and we don't look at the stock again, because we're not buying randomly into dips. We want to be buying into the momentum, into the breakout. So we already have people kind of coming through those pivot points. So this is one where it could drop 20% on Monday and we don't even take a look at it. It could break out 20% and then we don't chase. But if we kind of open up flat on Monday, there's a couple points that couple things I wanted to point out. You have this nice diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4 daily highs right at that same price. So if we do open like lower, let me draw this out. In an ideal situation, we kind of open sideways, take out the lows here, shake out all the traders, and then it gets going again, and we can break over Friday's high, 66.62. That would be a possible buy point if we open lower. If we open kind of in this mid-range, then a break over May 11th high, 725. That's another possible buy point. But really wanted to highlight this one because look at these massive volume bars on up days, and then everything gets quiet during this pullback. No one was leaving the stock during this pullback. That's great to see. Earnings around the corner. Again, this could be 20% up, we're not chasing, 20% down, then we discard it. But if this does open sideways, this volume pattern shows that people have been trying to get in before the earnings. So if we open sideways, then take out a daily high, definitely one that I want to keep an eye out, and I will have alerts set for. RFP, nice strong uptrend through here, pulled back to the 20-day. I think this was 25% pullback. Yeah, 25% pullback and 103% up. So qualifies for the high type flag. Not many high type flags out there right now. This is one of them. We did have kind of a larger down day on earnings, but since then it turned around, made almost new highs, then pulled back, we're starting to see ATR flatten out, volume getting nice and light while this price contracts a little bit. Got the main part of the volume shelf right here. So what I would be looking for is a break over May 11th high, 1575 as a possible buy point. That's RFP. Got two more for you guys. UNFI. Was on the breakout watch list last week. Let's see, what was last? Yeah, so this was last Friday when I said, okay, if we can break over that daily high, that's going to be the buy point. And then we flushed Monday, Tuesday, found some support right at the 50-day, and then we turned up Thursday, Friday, up 4% on Friday. Um, a couple larger selling volume candles than I would like, but this is basing out fine relative strength. If we can turn up here, I think I'm going to keep the same buy point, 37.90, the high from May 3rd as a possible buy point. No real need to cheat lower here because, I mean, that's only 0.8% difference. So going to wait for this to prove itself a little bit because it has been basing out for a while. So I don't want to get in and then it just kind of pulls back, does nothing for a couple weeks until it decides what to do, especially with some of these higher selling volume bars. Want to be a little bit more cautious with it, but nice setup there. UNFI. And last we have Zion Bancorp, another bank. This one has been showing the best relative strength because on Friday, oh, did we make a new high? Let's see, 60.44, 60.36, just short of a new high here, but really good action. Bounced right at the 20 and the 50-day moving average on Thursday. Higher highs, higher lows, almost a new high on Friday. So what I would be looking for, break over 60.44. That's my possible buy point. And since this is the strongest of the banks, getting right at its all-time high, or not all-time high, but relative high this past year, this is going to be the one, if they're all acting the same, that I want to be focusing on. Also has a good amount of volume compared to the others, not as illiquid. So that's ZION, Zion. All right, that's going to be the breakout watch list for the week. I have been trading very small because not a lot of stocks have been working. Growth stocks have been getting crushed. So all my position sizes are less than 5% of my portfolio. Stops are at 5%. So any one trade I'm risking, what would that be? Like less than a 0.5% of my portfolio. Until I can get some winners rolling for me, until I can move stops to my entry points on trades and really expand my exposure without increasing my risk. That's how I'm going to be playing this really tough trading environment right now. So not trying to be a hero, not trying to call any bottoms anywhere, still focusing on the strongest stocks that are getting stronger and just taking this day by day. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share this with any trading friends, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, and TikTok. Make sure you vote for the poll, and make sure you contribute to your IRAs if you still have any money for 2020 available. All right, see you guys next week.